Hey, it's Donnie Cates, and you are watching Mint Collectibles.
What's up, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. We're here with the new Comic Book Day reviews for Wednesday, January 29th. We're going to keep this thing spoiler-free. Before we jump into it, ThatSpidermanBooth.com has the biggest grand prize that I have ever seen since I partnered with them. The current grand prize that starts today at 7 a.m. Pacific and will run until Saturday is a Hulk 181 graded at a 6.5 by CGC. Yes, the first full appearance of Wolverine. So you can have a chance to win this by purchasing their $30 mystery box at ThatSpidermanBooth.com, and you can get $10 off by using the code GEMMINT. Now, that's a one-time use per customer, so if you use it in the past, it's not going to work. But if you haven't jumped into it yet, this is going to be the time. Guaranteed to get 5 comics of equal or greater value, and one person is going to win that Hulk 181. So go to ThatSpidermanBooth.com and use the code GEMMINT. Alright guys, so I dropped a video yesterday where I reviewed 4 Marvel comics a little bit ahead of time. Ravencroft #1, Avengers of Wasteland #1, Weapon Plus #1, and Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle #1. Also, Image is sending us early releases of their comics via PDF, so click on the card above if you want to see the reviews on those. On Image we did, I think it was like 3 or 4 books, and then these 4 Marvel books. Jumping into the new stuff I haven't talked about yet. Suicide Squad issue 2. So I was a little bit apprehensive to pick this up. I mean, I didn't love issue 1, but I picked up issue 2, and I really, really liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it had a nice storyline with a cool twist at the end. The only gripe with this is that I don't really care about any of the characters. I don't care about the big zebra guy. The shark guy's kind of cool, and his little rivalry with the other, like, fish guy. But I was able to look past it, and I really did enjoy this issue. It's the only DC book I have this week, so I don't know if that's because I'm slacking or DC slacking. Alright guys, I wanted to bust out my big Exo Manowar standee to talk about Quantum and Woody #1. So shout out to Greg and everybody at Valiant Comics for hooking us up with the standee. I went ahead and picked up Quantum and Woody one so I could talk about it with you guys, and I really liked it, man. I'm not really a huge Quantum and Woody fan, but I liked it because, like, Quantum is normally the serious guy, the straight-edge guy, and Woody's like the zany goofball. But Woody kind of powered up, man. He kind of went Super Saiyan on them, and he has kind of like these visions on how to win this upcoming battle. And he ends up becoming like the guy who's making all the right calls and making all the right shots when he's normally the one that's goofing off and messing up. So I thought it worked really well. I liked the little villains family of the mother and father with the 2 kids that seemed like a normal American family, but they're really like terrorists with special powers and dimension teleporting aspects. So I like Quantum and Woody. I'm really excited for the stuff that Valiant has coming up this year. I mean, I'm looking forward to the new Exo Manowar run. Bloodshot's going strong, and they have a Bloodshot Zero coming out. What is the other one? Dr. Tomorrow's coming out. So I'm interested to see what they got going on. And then the only other independent besides the Image stuff that I read, Something is Killing the Children, James Tynion IV, issue 5. I love this issue. Man, this was almost going to get pick of the week if there wasn't another book that beat it out. You know, we're picking up where we left off. We're hunting monsters. We're in this cave. We're getting some adults with us that are now able to see the monster, and we find a horde of bodies and children and such. And it's just a fast-paced, exciting book. I really enjoy this one. It's funny to me how Tynion's writing this, and then the current Batman. And the Batman, to me, is so, like, I don't know, confusing, where this is such a straightforward, fun book I really enjoy. Alright, now we got a huge stack of Marvel. You got Joe Kelly back on Deadpool with Deadpool the N. So we've already reviewed some other Marvel ones, the Miles Morales one, Venom one. So this one was really fun. It was these are all stories of like the end of this character's life. It's kind of way in the future. And it's kind of like a touching little story with Deadpool and his daughter. She's like 99 years old. And it kind of goes into like Wayne's World style alternate endings. Hey, if you didn't like this, let's do the super happy ending. Let's do the scary ending. So it was interesting. You know, Joe Kelly, classic Deadpool writer, and they break the fourth wall. He talks about himself. It was definitely a fun issue. If you're a Deadpool Joe Kelly fan, you got to pick this up for sure. Then we also get a Doctor Strange the End. This was like a depressing ass book, man. Doctor Strange, of course, he's old. It's in the future. He's the last, I don't want to say magician. He's the last of the mystic arts that's alive. And he is, seems a little bit crazy. like the flame, literally the flame of the Mystic Arch is going out, and he has this contingency plan, and we get a nice ending. It's a very depressing book, but we got a cool little ending for Doctor Strange to end. I thought it was a good issue. If you're a big Strange fan, it was definitely something that you should check out. Speaking of being a Doctor Strange fan, Mark Waid's Doctor Strange run is on issue 2, and I'm loving this issue, man. I didn't really want to give spoilers last time. I'm not going to give spoilers because some people haven't read issue 1, but basically you're up against the Wrecker and these type of like goons that have now magically enhanced weapons. So it's really interesting, and I love how Mark Waid writes Doctor Strange. This is going to be a good run, man. This is one that I could call it right now. It's going to get the oversized hardcover treatment, and maybe even more. I'm definitely digging Doctor Strange. What is this called? The Surgeon Supreme. So he's kind of back to his roots as an actual doctor and the Sorcerer Supreme. So I'm digging this run so far. Immortal Hulk 30, man, I want to keep dropping this title. This one was more of an action-paced book. It was like a big monster brawl, big like kaiju type of fighting. Artwork was great, a lot of big double-page spreads. And I was reading it halfway through, and I was like, at least I don't have that Minotaur from Roxxon that kills one of his employees again. Wrong. Happened again. This is like the 5th time this has happened. It's so frustrating. And the only cool thing about this is it kind of looks like with where it ended off that it's going to actually lead into something new, something different. The Roxxon Minotaur's plan is coming into fruition, where Hulk's being blamed for these monsters, and now, his plan is working out. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I don't know. Now, IGN said this was the best comic series of 2019. Man, I got to disagree. I mean, you got Daredevil by Zdarsky, you got House of X, you have Donny Cates' Venom. I mean, there's way better runs. I disagree with that one, IGN. Y'all wildin'. Best covers of 2019. Avengers Defenders Tarot 2. This is a fun superhero type book. I mean, you have Diablo, who's got this special ink that he's making tarot cards that can help him control the Avengers, which he does. Pretty much it. It doesn't feel like it's that deep, but you get a nice mix of characters. With Defenders, you're getting Hulk, Silver Surfer, you're getting Avengers characters like Vision and Thor and Iron Man. You know, I kind of thought this was going to be a one-dimensional story, but it seems like the Diablo stuff was just the beginning, and it kind of goes in a different direction at the end. And I really like that it made like a turn somewhere, because I enjoyed this book. It's a fun read. Hawkeye Freefall 2 by Rosenberg and Schmidt. I really like this run. Hawkeye is funny as hell, man. I love the interactions between him and Tony Stark. He kind of keeps ragging on him like he's so old, because he's dating the night nurse. What's her name in here? She calls herself Lori Carter or something Carter. Anyway, Tony Stark tries to show him up, and he's always like making old jokes toward him. It's funny, man. But this whole thing about the Ronin is Hawkeye the Ronin. The Ronin's hitting these drug cartels and bunkers and kind of Robin Hooding their money and parlaying it. And it looks like he was acquitted, but it's like, damn, is Hawkeye the Ronin or is he not? So that's kind of where we're at with this. Great writing. I think it's funny. I laughed out loud a bunch of times. And it's kind of an interesting story. We kind of get a little epiphany at the end here. So we'll see where it goes. Scream 3, Curse of Carnage. So, I'm surprised that this is still going to continue after this. There's going to be an issue 4. It's kind of the only absolute Carnage feeling title left. And it's okay. I mean, the Scream symbiotes bonded with, what is her name? Abby or Annie Mayhem, who is from Rick Remender's Venom run, right? The Flash Thompson Venom run. Addie? I can't remember her name. But, they're fighting this kind of different type of symbiote thing, this underwater symbiote that's making like these kind of zombie creatures. And this symbiote, we thought it might have been a spawn of Scream, or Scream might have been a spawn of it, but it looks like we get an answer there. And it's going to continue. This has really gritty artwork. It's really dope, though, man. Like, very monster-y vibe. Another one that has, like, this big kind of reveal at the end. So, we should check this one out, man. If you're a fan of Absolute Carnage, if you're a fan of Venom and stuff, you should check out Scream. All right, we got Star Wars 2. So, I'm digging this. This was, like, a Lando-heavy issue, and it's like movie canon. This takes place after Han Solo's been frozen to carbonite, but before he gets taken to Jabba the Hutt's palace. So we get like Lando trying to talk his way out of stuff. He's driving the Falcon, and it kind of fills in those gaps between the two movies, right? After Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, how are they so cool with Lando after his betrayal in The Empire Strikes Back? So we kind of get some stuff that happened off screen on the pages now. So I'm digging it. I can't wait to start picking up Darth Vader #1's getting another volume, and there's some other Star Wars books that they're teasing in the back here. But I'm down to follow some Star Wars Marvel. Alright, let's jump into Dawn of X, and let me try to keep track on what's what here. X-Men 5 by Hickman. I felt like X-Men 5 didn't feel like the other X-Men issues. I don't know, it just kind of felt like it didn't really follow the previous issue. Like, what was even going on here? I don't remember. See, there's two. They all blend together. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so I didn't really understand where this came from. There's basically this big sentinel, and it has something called the Void within it. And they compare it to the World, which, if you remember from Uncanny X-Force, is where, like, Phantom X was grown or evolved or something like that. And he has something to do with it. And they're basically trying to pull this heist in the vault, but you got to be careful because 5 minutes in the vault can be like 500 years in our time. Theory of relativity type stuff. So what I thought was weird is that, they send in X-23 with Darwin and another mutant, but X-23 is also in the Fallen Angels run. So I don't know, it just kind of seems like, I don't know, it kind of seems like the stuff that's happening with X-23 and with Wolverine isn't really happening in the other runs for whatever reason. So I don't know, it was a cool issue, but it felt like a standalone issue to me. Speaking of Fallen Angels, so this is the end of an arc. So I continue to like Fallen Angels. I know a lot of people say it's their least favorite Dawn of X title, but I love the artwork. Psylocke doing things with her telekinesis that we've never seen before. It looked great. I thought it was awesome. I thought this end of an arc was super anticlimactic, especially with the villain that they've built up. So that was kind of like, fell flat. But otherwise, I enjoyed the pacing. I enjoyed the artwork. I thought it was a good issue. So New Mutants 6. New Mutants is kind of weird because there's kind of two stories going on at the same time. You have the space stuff where Robbie is over there, Sunspot's there with the Shi'ar and all that stuff. And then you have this stuff in, like, is it Kansas or Kentucky or whatever, with Beak and his family that are held hostage by this drug cartel, which feels like it was super drawn out. But it finally gets to a conclusion here, and we're getting, I guess, I don't know, it's going to be the end of an arc. It doesn't really even tease the start of the next arc, but I don't know, I just kind of thought it was weird how it's one title, but it feels like two separate titles altogether. Forget what happens in, oh shit, I bent the book. Forget what happens in X-Force 6. I know Beast was narrating this, but what was this about again? Oh yeah, so this was pretty good, man. It had great artwork. There's this new kind of biological threat. It's kind of like, a symbiote, but it's plant-based, right? And it kind of mentions that this might even have the potential to become like a biological Nimrod, which, if you guys remember from Hoxpox, Nimrod was like the threat that they had to prevent. So, they talk about X-Force being that task force. You got some Black Tom Cassidy playing bodyguard to Professor X. I'm not going to let this happen again type of stuff. So, it was alright. It was cool. I thought the Dawn of X titles this week we're a little all over the place, to be honest. I don't want you guys spoiling my pick of the week. Jessica Jones Blind Spot 2. So Kelly Thompson's Jessica Jones. I didn't realize that this was already previously released in like digital format and trade paperback, but I guess it's the first time that it's being published weekly. Love this book. Jessica Jones. I think Kelly Thompson definitely nailed this character. I like the Luke Cage interaction with her. They're married. They have a daughter. She's recovering from a bullet wound, and she's trying to figure out who did it, who done it. It's a murder mystery, right? Somebody killed somebody that she was trying to help on a case, and now it seems like they're going after D-list heroes, right? They tried to kill Jessica Jones. They tried to kill, what is it, Blood Mary or something, Blood Moon, things like that. So I enjoy it. I really like Jessica Jones' kind of dry sense of humor, and the book works. I definitely enjoy it. All right, guys. So Something is Killing the Children was a strong-ass title. But my pick of the week, your boy Donny Cates with Thor #2. Man, Donny Cates, people want to say he's overrated, right? Because he's popular. The fact is that Donny Cates has a fun writing style. He does exciting things. You have God Thor, the Herald of Galactus. He's agreed to work with Galactus to help him feed on 5 uninhabited planets so that he could prevent the end of the universe. The whole dark, what is it called? The Dark something or whatever. But it's dope because Thor's like the first herald that really doesn't take any shit from Galactus. He's like up there on Galactus power level. So he's working with him for the greater good, but he's not taking any shit from him, and he's not going to let him hurt innocent people. So awesome run by Donny Cates. He's just he's a breath of fresh air in writing. His stuff is interesting, cool concepts, great ideas. It's written so well that it just flows. The artwork was great on here. Who's on the artwork? Nick Klein. So pick of the week, you guys, Thor 2. All right, those are the new comic book day reviews for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite book was down in the comments below. Make sure to check out thatspidermanbooth.com. This is a grail of a book that they have as their grand prize. So use that code GEMMINT for $10 off that $30 box. You're going to get 5 comics of greater or equal value, and one person is going to win that Hulk 181.65. So definitely worth a $20 shot on that. And good luck to all those who enter. Yeah, guys, hit the like button before you leave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're still dropping daily content. We got statue reviews coming. We have new comic book day hauls. We have early access to hardcovers and comics. So we're doing big things. And we hit that 50K, man. So make sure you go check out that video and enter into the contest to win the XM Studios Spider-Man. Stay minty fresh. Peace.